to season 3 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. If you don't know where that comes from, you got to go back to episode 1, and there is a full explanation of where that little tagline comes from. Anyway, I'm KL Brady, but you didn't expect me back so soon. Well, of course you guys know Christmas in July is coming up starting on June 23rd, Thursday night. So I couldn't be more excited and more ready. It just always makes me so much happier when Christmas movies are playing. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I feel. Like I'm always happier. I'm always in a lower stress mode. Like it just brings my blood pressure down to like reasonable levels. And up until a couple weeks ago, like I hadn't really been, watching Christmas movies like I normally do, because they're loaded on my DVR. But I've been so busy with like life and work stuff that I hadn't really like gotten into watching the movies again over the summer. And I'm just now kicking back into the season and everything, as you could tell by the shows that I am now starting to get back into doing the show and everything. So I'm really excited. So between watching Christmas movies and completing my latest Christmas book, which I am so excited because I pay major homage to my Christmas crazy mother. And so it's very cathartic writing that story as well, because I do miss her. And I've had some really crappy, wonderful, but yet crappy emotionally Christmases just because of experiencing losses and stuff. With my mom gone and my grandmother just passing away, it's been tough. But I'm really excited about this year coming up. I really am. I'm feeling more upbeat, and I feel like this book is really going to pull me through. So I'm excited about that. If you haven't already, please check out episode 1 of season 3 when I talked about a whole heap of Christmas TV Christmas movie news. The new Christmas in July movies coming on Hallmark, 3 of them. Hello. And 5 anticipated movies for the 2022 season. So today, I am going to preview the first 7 days of Christmas in July. I'm going to tell you what my top 5 daily to watch movies are going to be based on my Verizon menu now. Now, we know it's subject to change. The network has done flip-flops on me in the past where I was like, I talked about my watches on the show, and then on the day of, like, it'll be completely different movies, or some different movies. So these are my what to watch, subject to change based on what the network does. But anyway, so I'm really excited to kind of talk about what I am going to do there. Also today, what I'm going to talk about, I got some really fun news to talk about. And I'm also going to talk about The Christmas Pitch. I watched that movie, I think a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So today I'm going to give my review of The Christmas Pitch, which I'm excited to talk about because it was a diverse movie. Definitely Latina actors and actresses in that movie. So definitely a very diverse movie. I'm excited to talk about that. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But first things first, St. Nick shoutouts. You guys know how I roll. Every single show, first things I gotta do is send out thanks to all the listeners out there, the listeners who have stuck around for 2 seasons, and the growing number of listeners that we've got out there. I am truly thankful for you guys listening to me blather on about Christmas movies. Hopefully you're enjoying it too. Hopefully I give you some news that you wouldn't otherwise get off of other, out of other platforms and stuff. So hopefully you get some use out of it apart from hearing me blather on. But I appreciate you guys squeezing the show into your busy schedules. So today, as always, I picked 5 listener locations to shout out. With that said, let's get started. Remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. And this week's shout outs go to number 1, San Antonio, Texas. Yay! Thank you, San Antonio. You guys have really been sticking with me through my down season, so I appreciate that. Number 2, Goshen, Indiana. Goshen, Indiana. I hope I pronounced that right. I am so sorry if I didn't. But thank you for joining the show regardless. Number 3 on the list, Olympia, Washington. Thank you, Olympia, for listening. I'm very excited to have you guys on the show. Number 4, Rogers, Minnesota. Thank you for joining Rogers, Minnesota. Excited. I'm going to be talking more about some of your local stuff, local Christmas activities and traditions during the regular part of this season. So I'm definitely going to go back to a few of these areas and talk about your local traditions. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. And then number 5 on my list is Cameron, Wisconsin. Cameron, Wisconsin. Thank you guys so much for listening. I am very, very appreciative. Okay, so now it is time for Ho, Ho, Ho holiday headlines. Okay, so I've only got a few pieces of news today. Some fun news. And some actually surprising news to me, but I'll get to that in a minute. So the first piece of news I have is coming out of what's coming new to the Christmas movie season. I was kind of excited about this news, so I don't know if you guys heard, but HBO Max is coming out with 3 original movies over the Christmas. HBO Max, do you hear what I said? HBO Max is coming out with 3 movies over the holiday season, including one with Brooke Shields. Hello, I love Brooke Shields. I am true to Generation X, and I absolutely adore everything Brooke Shields does whatever. I love her. To me, she can be dramatic also, but she's super funny too. So, yeah, I'm excited to see her. So the movie is, I want to say, Holiday Harmony, and she plays a mechanic in the movie whose son kind of falls in love with someone who gets stranded in their town, a singer-songwriter that gets stranded in their town. So I'm really excited to see this. But then 3 HBO Max movies. So, I'm just really wondering about the numbers for this season. I feel like even though Netflix may not be as strong because they're experiencing some challenges with subscribership and all of that kind of stuff, other networks are jumping in the game like HBO Max. So this may be one of those huge seasons again, not because of the standard networks and streamers that participate in the TV Christmas movie season, but for these new streaming services that are upping their Christmas movie game. So I'm excited. This is really becoming a thing, guys. People will think I'm crazy because I love Christmas movies so much, but they generate a lot of revenue apparently because you can see so many streamers getting in business. So to you who scoff at me for loving Christmas movies so much. Okay, so number 2 on my news is so Christmas movie couples. I found this article on TV show Ace about couples who met on the Hallmark set, right? And there is a huge surprise in this list for me. It may not be for you, but it super was for me. There was one that was kind of a surprise when I first heard about it, but I did hear about it a little while ago. But another one on this list was like, what? I didn't know. Okay, so I'm going to get into this because I'm really excited. Okay, so couples who met on Hallmark sets, okay? So first, I don't know if you guys know about Chris McNally from When Calls the Heart, and Julie Gonzalo, who we know is one of my Hallmark absolute favorites, right? There are a couple, not only are they a couple, but they just had a baby. I was like, get out of town. Shut the front door. That was insane. Very excited to hear about them. They look adorable together. Of course, they starred in one of my favorite non-Christmas holiday movies, The Sweetest Heart, right? And I love it because Julie Gonzalo is in it. But they're a couple. And you know, I kind of thought, let me just, every now and then I get a feeling when I see a couple look at each other on the screen. I'm like, you know, if you guys weren't like co-workers right now, y'all could be a really cute couple. I looked at them and I thought, man, that could be a really cute couple. Turns out they thought so too. Joke's on me. So I'm really excited about them. Congratulations to them and their new little baby M. I think it's a little boy, I want to say. But very excited for them. So congratulations to Julie Gonzalo and Chris McNally. Beautiful couple. Oh my God, beautiful couple. But also new baby. Okay, the number 2 couple on the list was Victor Webster and Chantel Van Santen. Now, I already knew that they were dating. I, however, did not know they had gotten married, I think. They're married now. They're like totally married couple now, which was a little surprising for me because I did not know they had actually gotten married, but I did know they were dating. I did see Victor talking about it on, I want to say IG or Twitter or something. He had a video about it. And he was just talking about how much they adore. But if you look at them in that movie, that was another time I was like, they could have something going on if they weren't just co-workers. Again, they fooled me. They played together in Love Blossoms. I don't know if you remember her. Her father owned the perfumery. He passed away. She was trying to find the formula to make this perfume. Her father's formula. She couldn't find it. So she ended up having to rely on her own skill and talent, which was enough. So I am so excited about them. Married. They're married now. Did you hear that? So that's kind of exciting. Okay. Then the third couple they have on this list, which everybody knows about, it is truly the McSwoon couple, is Kevin McGarry and Kayla Wallace. So apparently they met on the set of When Calls the Heart. And then, so they met on the set of When Calls the Heart, and then they became friends, and then that friendship developed into something a little more. And then they became Instagram official, like apparently not so long ago. So now they are officially dating, and they are starring in one of the Christmas in July movies, My Grown Up Christmas List, which I am very excited to see. I told you guys it kind of gave me the feels of Four Christmases and a Wedding. Not quite, but in that realm. And I loved Four Christmases and a Wedding. I am sure that I'm going to love My Grown Up Christmas List. Okay, so I'm very excited about that. So, Kevin McGarry and Kayla Wallace. And, of course, you know, another beautiful couple. Adorable. They look great together. We all know about Alexa and Carlos Penavega, right? Um, Let me tell you where I first got to know Alexa though was in Sleepover. That was like one of my favorite movies. Even as an adult, I was watching that movie like 3 or 4 times. I just thought that was so cute. I love the ordinary girl, extraordinary world kind of stories, and that's what Sleepover was. So that was a very, very, very cute movie. If you haven't watched it, find it somewhere and watch it. It was so good. But anyway, that's how I got introduced to her. So then when I saw her kind of get into Hallmark movies, I was like, yay, because I love her. And then it was good to see her and Carlos working together. So that's another movie. That's not the surprise, though. The surprise is still coming up. I'm not there yet. Okay, the surprise is coming. So then, another couple. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Follow Your Heart. I remember this movie for the parents, I believe. I want to say this is the one where the parents were kind of thinking about separating, but the kids were kind of keeping them together. Anyway, in that movie, the Galadriel Steinman and Kevin Joy played a romantic interest. Well, it turns out they were married. So they weren't even like dating or single and found each other. They were already married. I always find it it's like, how do you act? I don't know how you act with your husband on set and you're supposed to act like you're not the couple you actually are. Okay. So I was really kind of excited about that. But here is the big surprise. This one threw me on my butt. Because honestly, my job is so nutso that I just don't get to follow stuff all day. But here's the big news. Brett Dalton and Eloise Mumford. Did you know they were a couple? I did not. If you knew they were a couple and didn't tell me, shame on you. Because I was like, what? I distinctly remember, and as a matter of fact, it is coming up in Christmas, July, week 1, 1 December night. And I thought, oh, they're just adorable in that movie. Again, one of those things where I was like, they look quite adorable together. And of course, you know how I feel about Eloise Mumford. To me, she's like one of the best actresses on the network. She's always giving emotion. Always, always, always. So, anyway, I was kind of surprised to hear that they actually had become a couple. I thought actually Eloise was married and taken like long ago. And turns out both of those guys were single and now they're together. And apparently they shared a photo of themselves on Instagram. And both of them kind of confirmed the news. Eloise, her little note was, I didn't trip, I fell. So sweet. And that's actually one of my books. I have those almost exact words in one of my books. And Brett wrote, love is in the air and now in my heart with Eloise Mumford. That's crazy. Is that not crazy, guys? That's like the best news ever. Like, I wish every single one of these couples the absolute best. The absolute best. And then my last piece of news for the day is Holly Robinson Peete. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but she's getting a Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I think she gets her, what do they call that? I forget. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. She gets her, like, her cement block, her hunk of sidewalk. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm having a menopause moment. But she gets her Walk of Fame thing, ceremony and all of that on June 21st, which is Tuesday. So that's coming up. So if you haven't already, send a shout out to Holly Robinson Peete on Twitter and congratulate her for this huge honor. She has had a super long career, super long, but she still looks 12. We hate her for that. But anyway, I'm so excited for her. So Holly Robinson Peete, check her out on Twitter. Please send her congratulations for her, her Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony coming up. And that's all I have got in the news for today. I am going to be coming back next week with more fun, excitement, and more news. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, right now, we're going to move on to Christmas and July and what's coming on. Now, I got to tell you guys, my heart is kind of broken by this news. So they're having Merry Movie Week on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries that begins on June 23rd, right? That's the good news. The bad news is it's only going to last for seven days. On July 1st, the movies stop. It goes back to regular programming on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and then it flips over to Hallmark Channel. But movies are not going to run 24/7 on Hallmark. They are going to run from 10 a.m. to midnight, which assumes that most of us are going to watch it during the day, and then we're not going to watch them at night, which they don't know about people like me who are up at all times of the night and want 24/7 movies. When I do wake up, I want to see Christmas movies on my channel. I love the Golden Girls. I love Reba. But come on, man. During Christmas in July, I'm expecting 24/7 Christmas movies, not, 10 to 12. Man, that hurt my feelings, but that's okay. We're gonna do what we do, which is enjoy what they give us and shut up and be happy about it. Okay. So, anyway. So I wanted you to know what the schedule is because I was kind of heartbroken when I found out. And the reason I know this is just because I was able to move ahead on my Verizon, and that's what the schedule was showing. And I was like, grr. But besides that, there's still going to be a lot of good movies. Now, what I will say is on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries during the week one, it is 24/7 Christmas movies. It's just when it moves over to the Hallmark Channel, they're going to have regular programming mixed in. Okay? So, anyway, I'm going to do my best to give you my 5 top watches for the Hallmark Movies and Mystery Days, the first 7 days, right? There's a few days where I have maybe 6 or 7 picks because I am completely indecisive when it comes to Christmas movies, and it's really hard. And now, just saying, I am not saying the ones that I picked are the only good movies that are coming on because they have such a great slate of movies coming on. But these are the ones that I am in particular going to either watch or DVR if I have to work. 'Cause, the next 2 weeks are going to be insane at work for me. So if I can't watch them, I will be DVRing them. And I will also come back next week to let you guys know what's coming up on the Hallmark Channel for the first week, okay? So let's get to it. Hallmark Movies and Mysteries starts 8 p.m. June 23rd, Thursday night. So here are my movies for that day. Well, there's really only 2 because it starts at 8 and, we go to midnight. So the first 2 movies on Hallmark Movies and Mystery are Christmas to Remember, which we love, with Mira Sorvino and Cameron Matheson. Now, Cameron's at GAC this year, but he left some good stuff behind at Hallmark, including Christmas to Remember, a few other ones that I love, including The Christmas Ornament. That was one of my faves. The second movie on Thursday is Time for You to Come Home for Christmas. That is with Allison Sweeney, right? And I think at midnight, A Christmas Melody comes on, and that's Mariah Carey. That movie with Mariah Carey, Lacey Chabert, right? So very excited about that. Okay, so June 24th, the first full day of Merry Movie Week. Day one. The lineup looks absolutely amazing. Here are my top 5 picks for that day. Number 1, at 4 a.m. is A Bride for Christmas. Now, those of you who are familiar with the Christmas classics know A Bride for Christmas stars Andrew Walker, the Christmas King, Christmas movie king, and Ariel Kebbel, right? And this is the man betting on the bride, right? A man bets his friends that he can convince a woman to marry him by Christmas, and of course, he doesn't let the girl know in on that, so things go awry. Definitely a Christmas classic. If I don't see this every year, then I riot. Okay, this is one of those. This is one of my riot movies. I love this movie. Number 2 for day 1 is Looks Like Christmas, 6 a.m. Anne Hesh and Dylan Neal. Let me tell you something. When I first saw this movie, I wasn't keen on it. But over the years, it has seriously grown on me. Now to become one of my favorites. I really like this one. I really like the kind of single parent having to prioritize work with life, your kids, who doesn't have to go through that on a day-to-day basis? So that movie has really just grown on me. As I feel like as I've gotten older, I can connect with it more given the things I have to balance in my own life. So I'm very excited about that. Number 3 on day 1, One December Night. I just finished talking to you guys about that. Brett Dalton and Eloise Mumford fell in love on this movie. And check it out. You got to look through it. Now you got to look at it again with fresh eyes, right? I want to say this one comes on at 8 p.m. Okay. Very excited to have this one come on. But this one stars Brett Dalton, Eloise Mumford, and Peter Gallagher. For those of you who don't know, he was in While You Were Sleeping. He was the sleeping one in While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock, so I love him from that. But then he also played the father in one of my absolute new favorite movies, Zoe's Extraordinary Christmas, which was based on the series Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist on Roku. Absolutely free. If you haven't seen that, honest to goodness, what are you waiting on? Go immediately and watch, because you can watch Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist anytime. Of course, I feel like you can watch Christmas movies anytime, so certainly watch the Christmas movie version of that. But if you like Glee or if you like Pitch Perfect, you're absolutely going to adore that show. To me, it's one of my favorites. Absolutely one of my favorites. Do yourself that favor and just go watch it, okay? So One December Night was my number 3 movie for day 1. Small Town Christmas at 10 p.m. with Ashley Newborough and Christopher Palaha, another adorable couple. Of course, we know Christopher Palaha is married, so but they were good. They had good chemistry together, him and Ashley, or he and Ashley. But anyway, in that movie, the romance novelist visits Springdale, which is Christopher's hometown, and she kind of had a crush on him. He had a crush on her, but life happened. And so, you kind of get to see how that plays out. So that's another good one. Small Town Christmas, 10 p.m. I love that one. And at midnight, one of my absolute favorite too. I think I'm going to have to DVR this one because I'm not sure if I'll be awake. I'm going to have a crazy day that day. Alvina August and Eon Bailey, which is so good. So good. A missed connection movie, kind of. Mystery mate kind of story. I love that movie. It's definitely become one of my favorites. Okay, June 25th. Okay, so this is day 2, the first full day 2, right? Packed full of Christmas movies, and it comes. This is Saturday, obviously, right? So, you just save some time because you're going to be watching a lot of movies that day. One, A Gift to Remember. Of course, I love that one. That comes on at 4 a.m. Memories of Christmas was Christina Milian, 6 a.m. I love that movie. Merry Christmas Match, Ashley Newbrough again, 8 a.m. That was a great movie. Holly and Ivy. Let me tell you, I resisted watching that movie for a long time because I thought it was going to be too sad. And it was just perfect. Honest to goodness, that was such a good movie. So 10 a.m. for Holly and Ivy. If you haven't seen it or if you resisted seeing it because you thought it was going to be too sad, do yourself a favor, watch it. It is not too sad. You might, squeak out a tear or two, but it's not going to have you blubbering like I thought it was going to have me blubbering. So it was very good. Number 5 on my list is A Mrs. Miracle Christmas, which was new to last year and definitely one of my favorites. I want to say Brittany from Hallmark Enthusiasts 247, is that 247, 347? She had that movie on her top 10 list, and when I heard her say it, I was like, ugh, I should have put it on my list, but I didn't. So yeah, it was definitely good, and I think she and I both agreed on that one. 5 More Minutes, 8 p.m. Now, I have to tell you guys, this is another one where I didn't watch it because I thought it was going to be too sad. I didn't watch it at all. I am going to watch it Saturday. So somewhere, I could be somewhere blubbering and crying. I will probably tweet on, I'll probably be on Twitter. So if you're up and watching this show, join me on Twitter because I'm telling you, I will probably be up and I will let you guys know if I blubber. But I hadn't seen it because I thought I was going to blubber. Nikki DeLoach, though, we're back in good graces because of Cranberry Christmas, which she was in. David Hayden Jones, I always like him. I feel like I'm ready to watch it now, so I'm going to watch that Saturday. On Sunday, June 26th, my top 5 movies are The Christmas Note. Ugh, come on, man. I'm really excited to see that one. 4 a.m. That is a Christmas classic from Hallmark. I won't get into it. You know that I've had that on multiple of my Christmas lists, including I think it's on my Christmas mystery list because it is kind of a Christmas mystery. So, but I cry every single time I see it, but I cry happy tears when I see it. So happy tears are good. Sad tears are bad. Once Upon a Christmas Miracle, definitely on my rising higher and higher on my Christmas classic list. Okay, but Once Upon a Christmas Miracle, I love that movie. It's coming on at 8 a.m. If you know, that one's the one with the girl who has the bad liver and needs help. And I want to say Brett Dalton is in that one with her, and they had great chemistry together. So that was a good movie. The next movie is Christmas in Evergreen. Comes on at noon. Okay, we know Ashley Williams plays in this one. We know Holly Robinson Peete is in this one, but this is the original Christmas in Evergreen. That will be on at noon. So you definitely got to watch that one. A Godwink Christmas, Miracle of Love is coming on at 4 p.m. So, that's a must watch, right? Cindy Busby's in that one, I think. I love that one. That's one of my favorite Godwink. My second favorite Godwink, I think. And time for them to come home not Miracle of Love, Meant for Love. There's a difference. So Miracle of Love, I think, is the latest Godwink. Sorry, I had to go back and correct that. Yeah, the latest Godwink, where this couple kind of meets. Both of them are trying to do good, move into different spaces, and they meet each other, and then things happen. I can't really get into the details. It feels like you can't talk about that one without giving it away. And for anybody who hasn't seen it, I don't want to give it away, but it's a Godwink Christmas, so it's going to be good. That's probably my third favorite. the first one being my favorite, the second one, Meant for Love, being my second favorite, and this would be the third one. Miracle Love is probably my third favorite. Okay, a time for them to come home for Christmas. Now that you know, there's that whole series of a time for everybody got to get home for Christmas, right? You, them, us, everybody. You know, somebody's coming home for Christmas, right? So this is one of those in that series. But this is the one with Jessie Schramm, who you guys know I love her. One of my favorites is A Birthday Wish, and then Brendan Penny, who I also love. I want to say he was in A Magical Christmas Ornament, which is like one of my favorite Christmas movies. Anyway, in this one, Jessie, of course, gets amnesia, and then she's got to work with Brendan's character to kind of like investigate and find out her real identity. I got to keep it real with you guys on this one, though. I have never seen this whole movie. I have seen usually the second half, or I've seen part of the first half and had to go for one reason or another. I've never seen it all the way through, so I am going to watch it all the way through, and I'll tell you what I think about it. And then in the show, not next week's show, but the show after that. And then so that's it for the 26th. For the 27th, my top 5 shows are Operation Christmas, 4 a.m., A Heavenly Ghost. So Operation Christmas is Tricia Helfer and Mark Blucas. You know that is kind of one of the military movies. I don't think, to me, Hallmark has really done a bad military movie. Like, I love them all. So, but this one, a single mom kind of falls for a soldier, and I think he's going to be shipped off somewhere. And that, of course, brings complications with it. So, Operation Christmas, I definitely like. And I love Tricia Helfer. I've loved her since Finding Christmas, which is one of my favorites. So, definitely, if you haven't seen that, check it out. A Heavenly Christmas, Kristen Davis from Sex and the City. Yes. So that comes on at 10 a.m. on the 27th. And then at noon is The Christmas Train. Okay. I want to say that's based on that David Baldacci book. Danny Glover, Kimberly Williams Paisley, and Dermot Mulroney, who was in My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts, right? If you're Generation X and you need to place him, that's that guy, right? But anyway, I love this one. It was kind of a little bit of a mystery. And I want to say when I first saw it, I saw it right after I had first seen Murder on the Orient Express, or some recent version of a feature movie with a murder mystery on a train, and it reminded me of that. So very cool, but it's definitely not that, right? It's Christmassy, it's happy, and it's all good. Okay, so my fourth pick for June 27th is Christmas with Holly, Sean Ferris and Eloise Mumford. You know how I feel about Eloise Mumford, but if you didn't know, I super love Sean Ferris. To me, he looks a lot like Tom Cruise. I know I'm probably the only one that thinks that, but I don't know, maybe I'm not. But to me, he looks a lot like Tom Cruise. That's not why I love him, but he does. That's how I remember him. But this is the one, Christmas with Holly, absolutely one of my most favorite classic movies. I may have to do a show on my classic favorites, because they don't really show all the classics, the things that made you fall in love with Hallmark at Christmas. Like, example, Window Wonderland. Why don't they play that like on regular TV anymore? I don't know. I love that movie. That was with Paul Campbell. I loved him in that movie. I don't know why they don't play that anymore. That's disappointing. But anyway, I think it's a Hallmark movie now. I've seen it on there. But put it on the regular TV schedule. All those classics that made everybody fall in love, play that stuff. Anyway, so in Christmas with Holly, Sean is taking care of his orphan niece who doesn't speak. And I think I've talked about this movie before because it's incredible. This little kid basically doesn't talk through the whole movie, and you're still like completely just awed by the performance. So that tells you she's got to be a great actress. She's obviously not a little kid anymore. That movie was made a long time ago, but it is a good one and it is perfect. And then I think they're kind of doing a kind of a back-to-back with Eloise Mumford, because the movie after that one is Just in Time for Christmas. So it's kind of a Eloise Mumford double feature, right? Just in Time for Christmas, absolutely one of my favorite time travel movies from the channel. Absolutely one of my favorites. I think it's kind of a time travel slash, second chance romance-ish kind of story, right? And I love, they have kind of this Santa-ish character that is played by William Shatner. So, I mean, there's everything to love about that movie. And to me, it's one of the best, most well done time travel movies on Hallmark, period. Love it. And then I picked the sixth movie. I know that was 5, but I picked a 6th movie, which is A Christmas Love Story. And that comes on at 10 p.m. And I love Kristen Chenoweth. I know her from Wicked on Broadway, right? And she's got a powerhouse voice. But she plays this role, and this was one of those things that are really kind of the best thing about Hallmark's off-brand stuff, right? There is a story in here that it just was not on brand for Hallmark in the past, but man, is it good. It's just perfect. I love that. That's a great movie. Gotta watch that one. So, Christmas Love Story, 10 p.m. On June 27th. If you have not seen it, you must. Okay, June 28th. We're getting up close to the end. June 28th, The Christmas Secret. Bethany Joy Lenz. Absolutely love her. Guys, she's my best Christmas friend in my head. I think this is the movie that really made me a true fan of hers. It's so good. Bethany is a single mom who moves to a new town with her new kids, kind of escaping her crazy ex. But her father's memory and a necklace kind of bring her to this town, and she ends up going through a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. But that movie is just so good. It's, I want to say it's probably more drama than comedy, right? Definitely a Hallmark Movies and Mysteries movie, but it is so good. I love it. One of my favorites. And I believe it's based on a book, actually, by the same name, The Christmas Secret. Marry Me at Christmas, also based on a book, with Trevor Donovan and Rachel Skarsten. I love her. This was definitely more along the enemies to lover romance kind of movies, right? The wedding planner versus the movie star brother, right? She's planning his sister's wedding, and they've really got different ideas about what the bride needs, and they've also got different ideas about what they need, and hijinks happens. So that's definitely always one of my favorite lists for Christmas movies. The next movie is A God-Wink Christmas Meant for Love, which I just talked about a minute ago. This is the one with Cindy Busby, and it's my second favorite God-Wink movie. So if you love the God-Wink series, if you don't love it or you haven't seen it yet, you gotta watch it. But if you have seen it, this is one you want to watch again. Okay, so that is June 28th at 6 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas, another one in that series. This is the first one I want to say, with Megan Park and Josh Henderson. I just got to tell you, I want to be Megan Park in a movie. If she's not finding a prince, then she's like finding like celebrities, movie stars to fall in love with. But it's a really good movie. She kind of plays the ordinary girl with the country music star. So I told you I love those kind of themes, the ordinary girl, extraordinary world kind of stories. And then Christmas, Cranberry Christmas with Nikki DeLoach and Ben Ayers. So good, very surprising. If you haven't seen it yet, you should. I feel like it was the first time, I want to say, that you got to see a very imperfect marriage in a Christmas movie, a very imperfect marriage. And this couple really gets put in a position where they have to kind of fight to keep their relationship together. But you're never really quite sure. I mean, you kind of know, but you kind of don't know how that's going to end. It's very interesting, very good, very well done, very well acted. On June 29th, which is the day before the last day, at midnight, I think I'm going to have to DVR this one because I love it so much, and I don't have it on DVR, but I love watching it every time it comes on. Finding Christmas. Trisha Helfer and JT Hodges. I talked about it a little earlier. This is the one that's like the holiday or like Trading Christmas, where you house swap. This is the house swapping thing. I think on Lifetime they have one called A Christmas Exchange that is very similar to this. So if you like the house swapping kind of movies, you will love Finding Christmas. I love that movie. Number 2 on the 29th is A Bramble House Christmas at 2 a.m. with Autumn Reeser, who I love, and David Hayden Jones. That's a very good one. This guy leaves his nurse $100,000, and the kids want to know why. Why did our dad leave you that money? They're estranged from their father, and they want to know what was going on. So, very good movie. The next is Christmas on Honeysuckle Lane. One of my top 10 favorite Christmas mysteries, TV Christmas movie mysteries. This one stars Alicia Witt and Colin Ferguson. And now I like him from the Fixer Upper Mysteries, right? But I'm going to say he also did like Christmas in Montana with Kelly Martin. And I love him from those movies, so he's so good. But anyway, in this movie, Christmas on Honeysuckle Lane, Alicia's character finds out that her mother, who's passed away, and her father, who's passed away, but her mother's had some kind of romantic relationship for their father, and she wants to find out, what's the deal, who, what, where, and why, right? So she kind of it's kind of a Christmas mystery. So I really like that movie. I want to say it was written by someone who played on Little House on the Prairie, if I remember correctly. Like I remember researching that, and it was actually based on a book written by one of the girls who played on Little House on the Prairie, which is kind of neat, right? The next one is A Joyous Christmas with Natalie Knepp and Michael Brady. Now, I love this movie for a lot of reasons, mostly because Michael Brady sings in this one. If you didn't know that Michael Brady could sing, you need to watch this movie because it is so good. So I think this is 6 p.m. on June 29th. A Joyous Christmas with Michael Brady. You will love that movie. And Michael Brady has the most beautiful voice. And then at 8 p.m., The Christmas Doctor with Holly Robinson Peete and Adrian Holmes. Now, I did not know, maybe you knew, but I did not know that Adrian Holmes is actually British. I didn't know until I saw him in Adventures in Christmasing with Kim Field, and he's got his British accent. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's British. So that was kind of exciting to hear. So that was cool. But she plays a Christmas doctor. She's kind of invited to this town to serve as the doctor, but she ends up finding out some information that really could change her life. So she kind of goes to this temporary situation and finds out something that can permanently change her, right? It's very good. Very, very good movie. A little bit of a mystery in there, but very good movie. June 30th, the last day of Merry Christmas movies. Boo. June 30th is the first movie. I just talked about it. And you think there's a pattern here? Christmas in Montana with Kelly Martin and Colin Ferguson. I love Kelly. Kelly's one of my favorite actresses on Hallmark. Love her. Love everything she does, pretty much. Going back to the Christmas ornament. So, yeah. I love Christmas in Montana with them. So that comes on at 4 a.m. on June 30th. At 6 a.m., A Veterans Christmas. Eloise Mumford and Sean Ferris again. So they starred in Christmas with Holly before. Now their latest movie together is A Veterans Christmas. And if you love them in Christmas with Holly, you're really gonna love them in A Veterans Christmas, because there's a cute kid and a dog, a couple of dogs. So I mean, come on, kind of a stranded together romance, right? Slow burn, stranded together romance kind of thing going on. So you will love that one. So definitely, if you haven't seen it yet, you gotta check that one out. Northern Lights of Christmas comes on at noon with Ashley Williams. You know, I love me some Ashley Williams, and I think she plays opposite Corey Sevier, who is also one of my favorites. Of course, you know him from Four Christmases and a Wedding. He did a lot of Lifetime movies, right? So he pretty much, I think you can see his stuff split between Lifetime and Hallmark. But she's a pilot who inherits a reindeer farm, and Corey Sevier kind of plays the cranky caretaker who's got to help her get ready to sell it, so she can get back to her life. And you can kind of figure out what happens there. The next movie on the final day of Christmas in July, last day of Merry Movie Week, is Two Turtle Doves. Nikki DeLoach and Michael Brady. Again, Michael Brady, you know, you kind of forget he's played in a lot of Christmas stuff, right? As I sit here and say his name 50 million times, I'm like, geez, Michael's played in a lot of Christmas stuff. You know, I thought Andrew Walker was the king, but I don't know. Michael Brady's got to be up there a close second. But he and Nikki DeLoach played in this movie where she plays this doctor who returns home to search for her grandmother's two turtle doves ornament, right? This one grew on me because it was sad, and you guys know it takes me a while to watch sad ones, but I ended up liking it more than I thought I would. It was definitely more hopeful than sad. So if you avoided watching this one like I did because you thought it was going to be too sad, it's more hopeful than you think. So watch it. And then the final movie on my list of must-watches for June 30th is A Gingerbread Romance. That is definitely an enemies to lovers romance for sure. This is Tamara Mowry plays in this one. She's an architect, he's a baker. And they kind of team up to win this gingerbread contest. Each has their own reasons. Very, very cute movie. Also based on a book it's by Lacey Baker. So, you know, if you want to read the book's out there. And like I said, that's the end of Christmas and Merry Movie Week on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. Everything moves over to the Hallmark Channel starting on July 1st. And except there's like 3 final movies on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. A Family for Christmas with Lacey Chabert, classic. A Godwink Christmas at 2 a.m., classic. And finally, A Christmas Miracle with Tamara Mowry. Those on July 1st, like in the middle of the night, those are the last 3 movies before Monk comes on. And then everything switches over to Hallmark, the Hallmark Channel. So I'm excited about that. No, so the lineup starting out on the Hallmark Channel is A Christmas Detour, Candace Cameron Bure. Boyfriends of Christmas Past, I love that one. Switch for Christmas, Candace Cameron Bure. And Christmas with the Darlings, Katrina Law. Those are like four of the big ones that I saw that I am definitely, those are among my favorites. So, phew, I know that is a lot of information, but I'm going to post all the movies, my must-watches, in the show notes so that you'll have something to refer back to. Starting on the week, if you're trying to figure out, like, what am I supposed to watch today? You can look at those. And also, I will be posting daily on Twitter as usual. So if you don't know, I will be putting, at least my top 3 on Twitter each morning if you don't know what to watch. So please make sure that you follow me on Twitter. I'm going to take a quick break, but I'll come back and talk about the Christmas pitch before I sign off for the day. So hold on for just a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
Now available on paperback and an ebook, the hilarious romantic comedy The 12 Days of Christmas by USA Today best-selling author K.L. Brady. Both recovering from heartbreak, Gabby and Dave fall for each other after Dave sends a misdirected text message to the wrong woman. But it's a comedy of errors when they try to meet face to face. Murphy's Law strikes and they may never see or speak to each other again. However, Gabby thinks Dave may be the one, so she accepts the mission to unite them before Christmas Day. Now she's got 8 days and 12 Daves to find the man of her dreams. But Dave is hiding something. 3 big things. Even if Gabby finds him, will his secrets keep them apart? Rediscover all the joy and wonder of the Christmas season when you pick up this heartwarming story today. To find out more about the 12 Days of Christmas, visit klbradyauthor.com or pick up your copy at Amazon, Apple, Kobo, or Barnes & Noble today.
And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. Okay, so I just finished talking about Christmas in July, Merry Movie Week, giving you all my must-watch movies. So now we're going to get into a quick review of the movie I watched on Amazon Prime. I had to rent it. It did cost, I think it was $2.99 for like a 2-day rental. But the movie's called The Christmas Pitch, okay? Now, I saw this last year. It was one of those movies that was not on like the big channels. So it wasn't on like the Ion, Lifetime, Up TV, or Hallmark, obviously. But it was released in 2021 and it went straight to streamer. And I want to say that it was on one of the free streaming services, kind of like a Tubi or a Roku, but I don't think it was either one of those. It was something else. Then it moved into on demand on Amazon. And so I caught it on Amazon, like I said, for $2.99. If you're looking for something to rent, definitely worth the $2.99 rent if you need a Christmas movie to watch. So the big things I want to say about this movie, first of all, they get major props for the diversity. It stars Joseph Morales and Alexis Maria Huerta. I definitely put this movie into the category of enemies to lovers, where you have kind of this Scrooge character and this Happy the Elf character, right? So if you put Scrooge with Happy the Elf, you're gonna, there's automatic conflict, automatic tension, and it literally starts from minute 1 in this movie. So the main characters, Becca and William, had this totally antagonistic relationship. They're 2 marketing executives. Both of them are kind of type A. At least they look like they're type A. Very ambitious. And they have to do this marketing pitch. They go in for the marketing pitch. It's for Christmas marketing campaign. And they both blow it big time, right? So their boss is like, look, you 2 are my best, but you screwed up this pitch. So I'm sentencing you to go find your Christmas spirit and come back and try it again, or else you can either be promoted or fired. Pretty much is kind of the note behind what he said, even though he didn't say those words, because he was a very happy character. It was this kind of Black Santa character, right? But anyway, so they end up going back to William's hometown, which is Kringle Lake to find the Christmas spirit. And they end up getting kind of stranded together, having to live in the same space, forced to live in the same space. And the close proximity and all of that, from the time they're in the car to the time they get to where they're staying, I mean, you're bound to get comedy. There's got to be comedy because you have a Scrooge and Happy the Elf together, like forced to be together, forced to cooperate. And then when you get actually to Kringle Lake, then another story gets added onto that, kind of the B story, right? There's some saving that has to be done in addition to their job of finding the Christmas spirit, and they've got to cooperate to do it. They're both all in to help do something, and they've got to cooperate to do it. So there's a lot of the like traditional TV Christmas movie elements that we all know and love, right? But then there's also this relationship that kind of keeps you plugged in. And I will say, I gave myself permission not to watch this all the way through, and I enjoyed every second of it. It was really, really good. So for me, this movie definitely falls in the 3.5 Christmas tree rating range. You know, for me, I don't talk about movies that aren't good at all, and everything falls in the 3 to 5 range. 3 being good, and 5 being outstanding, awesome. I can't stop looking at it. Like, I'm gonna watch it 30 times before the season's over. So my level of Christmas crazy. So this one definitely, for me, wasn't quite a 4, but it definitely wasn't a 3. It was in the middle, probably with 3.5 going up to the 4, right? Christmas trees. So definitely good tension. A little bit of role reversal there with the Scrooge and the Happy the Elf characters, and it was diverse. It was very diverse. I think it literally hit every category, including LGBTQ+, right? Everything. So it was a great way to spend an afternoon. I definitely don't regret 1 second I spent with that movie. Very cute. Definitely something to watch. The Christmas Pitch can be rented on Amazon Prime for $2.99. It may be elsewhere, but that's where I found it. Okay? So that's going to do it for the show today. In the next episode, I'll be back talking more about our upcoming Christmas movies for the 2022 season. And I'll be talking more about Christmas in July on the Hallmark Channel and what you can be looking forward to watching during Christmas and July. Thanks to my music and show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show. He's at Wildcard Music on IG, and you can find the link to him in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell all of your Christmas movie loving friends about the show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. Podcast platforms include Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio. One of the favorite listening platforms is on Amazon Echo. You can get this show on Amazon Echo. You can follow us on Twitter at Chicks on Christmas Flicks with X's, all X's, and follow us on IG at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, all X's. Thank you for listening in, and we will see you next week.